All right, we're in.
He grew up in Seattle. I don't know if they mentioned that either. He grew up with Jamal Crawford, who's a fucking NBA legend.
So we're talking about Generation Iron from 2013, kind of the first of the Generation Iron films. We the one on what's his face? Why am I blanking?
Ronnie?
Rich Piana?
Rich
Piana?
Both.
Piana and Ronnie Coleman. These were made later. What we're looking at today is like the first of that era.
In my head, this guy has to be like first top 5 legitimate meathead documentaries. Yeah, like obviously Pumping Iron.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be like a sequel because it's the same producer.
Yeah, the whole vibe when they were promoting, because they promoted this like crazy, and this is when 3 of us were deep in the industry. Obviously, we're in it now, but we were.
Not like we were then.
Yeah. Dead mix of the industry, like the heart of it. Because the industry was so small then, everything had to go back to bodybuilding. You know, like nothing's kind of stood on its own just yet. Like 2010 to 2014 maybe even, you know, then CrossFit and stuff kind of stood on its own. And even now you could argue weightlifting and powerlifting don't. Like they're not an industry per se.
Yeah.
So we were dead deep in this, and I just remember them... whispers talking crazy like, yeah, the next Pumping Iron. And so they marketed that well. And I have seen it multiple times, but I watched it again yesterday. But I was trying to think of like big docs, like real directors, real filmographers that made fitness shit, and it's kind of none. Like the 90s were a big time, but you had shitty YouTube Ronnie, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that like the whole production behind shooting Pumping Iron was maybe more, kind of classic filmmaking folks and stuff than this was.
It felt like more like a potential. You could see it on like not history, like a National Geographic Channel. It was like more like a weird like documentary.
Well, they call it what? Docudrama, right?
Docudrama, yeah. And it's also kind of chopped up in a lot of ways. There's a lot of like stuff going on that they just threw in to pad it out, and then
like how many times did Arnold actually take ballet?
Yeah,
likely just for the film.
Yeah, probably just for the film.
It really felt like late 70s vibes.
Yeah. When did documentaries become like?
When did it come out?
Yeah, late 70s.
Was this late 70s?
Yeah,
late 70s.
I believe so.
When did documentaries become like a thing? Because now they're whipping them out every week, right?
Like are you talking about bodybuilding or
no?
Just in general?
In general.
I feel like those have been. They were just like.
I feel
that
like
was TV.
Oh, you think?
I think it was. I think like back in like 60s, it's like. That was like there wasn't like TV there wasn't like shows. There was just like that
was like sitcom era.
I guess you're right, true. But there was also I think a lot of like specials they called them.
Oh yeah, like 60-minute. 60 minute. Like we're in the Sahara.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Amazon and that was like it was like basically a documentary.
But not a movie. Yeah, they did like big segments like that.
You weren't like buying them at the store
or like 2020.
Like
Yeah, ESPN's 30 for 30, but in the 50s.
Pumping Iron was 1977.
77. Yeah, I think
but like documentaries even like this or Planet Earth or what we know now, I feel like really took off in like 2000s.
Yeah, probably early 2000s.
Right, Knives Over Forks. Like these are like common popular names.
Yeah, and this one feels like a YouTube video now in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Well, because YouTube's just gotten so high production.
Yeah,
that too. Yeah. Well, I mean, Mr. Beast literally just made a 3 YouTube part series with Amazon Prime for $100 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they are the same.
Yeah.
They're identical now. Like and he's obviously the king of YouTube. Like they are identical on the spot. But if I wouldn't say that just based on the other documentaries we've reviewed.
No.
Right? Because Piana and Ronnie are made after this.
Yeah.
And those are much more like raw. Like this, in my opinion, we have obviously a bunch to cover, but like if we're putting a cap on the beginning, I think it like was the perfect documentary because like they have multiple storylines, and despite having so many characters, character development's pretty good. Although I was just telling Sebas off air, probably fake. Like they really stereotype each guy, so purposely. Like Ben Pack, like I think I mentioned in the other one, Ben Pack's the guy. They try to make him look like Drago in fucking Rocky V. You know? Like he's only lifting in front of a white room with
Or
a
he's on
screen.
some weird bike.
Yeah, getting yelled at by a little science nerd.
This is fancy, huh? This is fancy.
It is real though. That school, like that's where Lane Norton is. Shout out Dunsmore, my friend Kristen's there. Like that is like the performance strength and conditioning school. I think is it not FSU. Fuck, I don't know, but one of the Florida schools.
That guy was a total nerd.
And that's where they all are. And they all are there. All the meathead nerds are there. I think that's where Lane got his master's.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But character development's good. There's obviously the conflict. There's like the end goal destination. There's the side conflict of just Kai and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously it leans a little bit more towards Phil because he is the guy and had been the guy.
And kept being the guy.
Yeah, what was this, his third win?
Yeah, I think he won.
He won 7 total.
7 total. Yeah,
7 total.
Every year, and then I think he placed third the last year that he competed.
They just retired.
Oh, wow. That's it.
They started to get crazy. Like Phil, in hindsight, looks really good. He looks really symmetrical, really snatched waist. But then now they're just crazy. Like they call Ronnie and Beyond like the mass monsters or whatever, and so Phil is in the mass monster category. But they all look insane. They're all 300 pounds now. Like Ludsford, I think, was the most recent winner, or he won 2023, and they look fucking crazy. Where Phil looks.
Oh, Phil looks. I mean, you.
Bro, if you're making a G.I. Joe, I'm probably making it look like Phil.
The thing with like the Phil
Batman.
and Kai is like you at the end when they're doing that one-on-one pose off, it's just like, it's an amateur could tell you who's got the better physique.
Yeah.
here. I mean,
you can see
and that
it.
was first and second place.
Yeah, you can't see it. But you could also tell in that same scene how real it is.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like each other. Like, that part ain't fake.
Yeah.
Which I was just texting Bart about in basketball. I got a clip of Isaiah Thomas in the 80s. And someone like sets a pick on him in basketball, and he literally just turns and socks him in the face, like mid basketball game. And I'm like,
basketball becomes hockey.
Well, it used to be like that. I was like, Bart, dude, my sport's gotten soft, dude. And he's like, man, he's like, that was fucking crazy. I was like, yeah, that's obviously like too much. Or yeah, I mean, this Four Nations tournament, they just have the center, and then they just get in a fight, like first fight in the Canada and USA.
Yeah.
But you need drama in sports. Like that's why I think people are attracted to sports, and NBA ratings are down because everyone's best friends and shit. And bodybuilding ratings
are down like 30%.
No, insane amounts. And bodybuilding, I don't know, like if they have a rating system, right? Because I don't even know how to watch it live, although it's become a thing. But I bet you ratings were way higher here, because there was legitimate drama. You have a champ. You have like different characters. Then I was telling Sebas, like, I don't know who did it or what, but each character in this, and it wasn't because of this movie. Like I knew all of these bodybuilders before this movie. All of them had built a name for themselves. Yeah. Where now, like I can't name 5 guys because it all moved over to Sebum and them.
Yeah. The problem is that it's just you don't have to be good anymore to make money.
You're probably right. It's probably moved to the influencers.
You don't even have to compete anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're
probably right.
You can be 17, hopped up on fucking shit, and make more money than C.T. Fletcher ever did in his entire career in a year.
Yeah, no offense. Yeah,
on TikTok.
But Sam Solik, right? Sam Solik's probably second biggest name in the game behind Sebum, and he just did his first show ever.
Yes.
Yeah. He's 23.
Yeah, exactly.
And he makes probably more money, more eyes, more attention.
He's a millionaire now.
Yeah, easily. With his YouTube views, easily, let alone sponsorships.
He's making more money than these guys that own supplement companies that have been in the game for 20 years.
Yeah. I hate maybe it is like semantics, but I hate because we talked about it with the Ronnie one and the others about him buying his house and financial situations. I looked it up because they always say like, oh, the Olympia gives away $1 million. I just hate. Can we just erase that?
Yeah, it's $1 million total.
Yeah, I hate that. They do that for esports too, and I understand the marketing of it, but I just hate that because I looked and they were winning like 100 G's.
Yeah, 250 is the highest.
Now. Yeah, that's now. Yeah. I think in 2013 it was 100.
No, it's 250, I think. I looked it up.
Oh. But just before that, then it was 100. Not long ago.
Second place was 100.
No, I'm saying first place not long ago was 100.
Yeah. I think I looked it up.
Yeah, potentially. I'm just saying, but either way, that's trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's trash. Just the marketing is trash of it. I could have sworn I heard that it was $500,000 back in the day and $1 million now.
I'm surprised that it's that. To be honest with you, I'm surprised it's even that much. Like, who's paying? Who's footing the bill for that?
Weeder's giant.
They making that much money?
Yeah, back in the day for sure. They owned half of Sears. You go into Sears, everything says fucking Weider on it.
Yeah.
And plus the magazine. Plus they started supplements.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I guess I didn't think about them.
And then now they have bodybuilding.com throwing them $1 million to run the event. They have every supplement sponsor.
There's a lot of good margins in supplements. So
Huge.
Makes sense.
And back in the day, like the margins on fitness equipment's probably not amazing, but back in the day, they were the only ones. So then your margins are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting to something that you were talking about earlier relative to Phil Heath, like if you could just sit down and have a conversation with, say, 2 of these guys, not at the same time, like who would you pick?
I've already met a bunch of them, so it's a little biased. But I'd probably hang out with Kai again. I've chatted with Kai a couple times in like lobbies with some of the Baileys, and he was cool, super cool. Maybe Branch Warren. I'd probably just catch a workout with Branch Warren. He's out of his brains.
Yeah, that would be the most entertaining.
Is that scripted? Not to switch the topic real quick, but was that scripted? Because he's literally talking about injuries.
And then he fell off the horse.
And I remember it being kind of memed.
Good editing.
No, but I feel like he literally is on the horse like, yeah, fuck that injury, and then whips the horse around and dies.
Dude, there's no chance that dude that weighs that much is willing to throw himself off and onto the ground from a horse.
I agree with you.
He could have killed it.
No, the fall looks real, but what are the fucking chances?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was being a cocky idiot.
Yeah.
That was insane.
It was hilarious, yeah.
It's literally out of like a parody of a Western film. Like, I ain't never got hurt on no horse, and then just you eat shit.
There's plenty of examples
insane
where life imitates art.
Yeah, that was actually fucking insane. Because I remember it being memed after it happened.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him directly talking shit on being injured.
It memed like 5 years later.
No, it could be memed right now. We could start the meme again.
You know what I mean?
It is because it's so good.
Late,
it's so good.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so who are you guys chatting with? Yeah, I'm probably doing Kai. And then probably Branch Warren, just because he's...
I'm going to go with Branch.
Well, he's just like such a throwback. Like, he's fucking bodybuilding. He's
kind of the white Ronnie, but without, like as far as, like, the grit. Not the personality, but they're training at the same place.
Yeah.
They're doing the whole, like, lift heavy without form, just as heavy as possible,
but he puts
all day long.
He puts the words on it, too, like, men have problems, but we ain't talking about our problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You man up, you go to work, and you get the job done. You don't worry about it.
Yeah. I want to have a beer with him.
Yeah.
I would say probably Phil Heath, and I was really surprised. I don't think I'd seen Kai talk that much. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen the
I haven't. He's one of that I have not met at all.
Yeah. Before this, Kai has like multiple kind of Ronnie Coleman style documentaries that I've watched, and so that's just very vlog. He's literally just in like the tiniest. This is before like any of this. He's like in the tiniest apartment in fucking Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's like 09, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I watched all those because that's when I really got into lifting, and so I was trying to learn.
Looks like he's in those famous like apartments in Brooklyn, like the ones that you see like in movies and shit. Yeah,
yeah, he might be. I mean, he grew up homeless basically. Like, like he definitely was. But he was so kind when I met him. I met him in Houston a couple times, like 2016, 17. He was crazy kind. Yeah, just imagine that guy's stories, you know.
I mean, it's crazy, like to get even into bodybuilding, growing up in like the foster system, like that doesn't make any sense.
He was really well spoken. Had a big vocabulary, just like a very interesting person who's obviously been through a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, to be that,
gotta
like,
and gotta have scars, man.
I wonder, who coaches him. I think that's something they've never like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who was his coach?
Yeah, they didn't really show that.
Because they showed it for almost every other guy.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever...
He must be one of those rogue guys that coaches themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
Sometimes those are... If I had to pick one person that could probably coach themselves, it'd probably be him.
Yeah, and he does seem like he likes to learn and shit, so who knows? He might have just read a shit ton and taught himself.
Did you see at any point a like on-screen lower third identification of Hani Rambod? Phil's...
You mean, did they label him?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't
they
really
said
read.
His name. They said his first name at some point. I was like, oh, I know who that is.
I mean, that was kind of Hanny's like come up was with Phil for sure.
Yeah.
And then now he's exploded, kind of coached everyone. But I don't know.
Talked to him on a podcast in 2017.
Yeah, yeah, he's still a name. I mean, he's helping C-Bum and them often.
When does the C-Bum come out? Isn't that soon?
I don't know. I just
like the 23rd or something, right?
I got some like blast that it was having issues, but maybe it was just a little tweak.
Okay. I thought it was supposed to come out like in the next few days.
It was supposed to be soon.
That Olympic basketball one, I think,
it's out, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be really good.
About
emotional.
The team?
No, about like this summer. They already ended
last summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really? Who was on that team?
LeBron, Steph, KD.
That's the one when they were high and they'd come out and they're all high coming off the train. You seen that clip?
Oh, I saw him come off the train. I didn't know they were high.
And Beeb is like looking
stoned?
at them and then because LeBron's got like his hat like over his eyes, and the other guys are kind of like hiding, and they just, looks like they just obviously just went and like smoked. It looked like the going to go smoke a joint on Thanksgiving and come back from the walk. That's what it looked like.
I didn't know that, but it is from this summer, and it makes sense because like next Olympics, Braun's going to be 44. Like, what are the chances he's going to do it? You know, so like,
he'll do it.
Steph will be 40.
He's a robot, dude. He's literally Drago.
He is. Like he literally just had like another triple double last night, but I don't know if he's still going to want to or be around.
I think he's been replaced with a robot.
Yeah, Steph will be 41. Yeah, it's just like the older
Steph's
gen.
going to be 41.
I think he's 38.
Oh, for the
next Olympics. Yeah, I think he's 38, 37 right now. Yeah,
Damn.
that and then the Jonathan Majors one, the bodybuilding show.
The thing with Steph though, like he can play forever because he doesn't drive the lane and he just shoots all day.
Yeah, potentially, but it's like the mental grind.
Yeah,
you know, like the physical used to be somewhat of a factor because, like, I mean, yeah, even Jordan played till 40, but like, and he was pretty physical player, but like the mental of living in hotels for 300 days a year if you go into the playoffs. Never seeing your family and like never getting to breathe because you have like 2 weeks where you can eat junk food and then you have to get back in shape because then you have whatever's next.
Yeah, to play like LeBron.
Yeah. Even
or you can be like, fucking what's his name, James Harden.
Bro, he still
just get big.
I bet you he still goes crazy and then just has pizza.
Or even
you
like
know,
Luka kind of big.
Yeah, that's everyone's hating on him. Poor guy.
He's the fourth biggest guy in the league.
No, he's not that big. You guys are added to the memes.
Dude, look it up. Weight wise,
is he really 270? Is the question?
Yeah, but even that, he's 6'8". Like 270, 6'8" is not that crazy.
But the guys aren't overweight. Like most of the guys that are tall aren't that heavy.
Yeah,
he's the fourth heaviest guy in the league.
Yeah, that's possible. But he probably
Djokovic is number one.
Yeah, Djokovic is a big boy.
He's the biggest guy in the league.
Yeah, he's
the heaviest guy in the league.
I mean, same with Zion. Like, obviously, like some dudes are thick, but he's not like out of shape.
Zion's totally out of shape.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah, he's out of shape.
But he's got some muscle on him too.
He's like what who were we just talking about?
Djokovic? Oh no, fucking
Luka.
Luka.
He's like he had the potential to be the Luka, but just got too big too fast.
I mean, they said
that's what they're scared of.
They said he was going to be LeBron out of high school.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on ESPN. He was one of the first like guys to get on ESPN.
Busted up the shoes.
Trash.
Yeah, he was going crazy. Yeah, he
Anyways.
was going crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of documentaries all of a sudden, it seems like.
Have you guys seen anything about Steph's condition with his vision?
No, is losing his vision?
Well, here's the thing. My son a few weeks ago got diagnosed, my older son, with this condition called keratocoma, where one eye gets more and more astigmatism, so the lens shape keeps changing, and so it's harder and harder to see clearly.
I have astigmatism in both my eyes.
And the most prominent person in the world who has that is Steph Curry.
There's no LASIK for it?
No.
They say that my eyes are like football shaped. Some people's are more round.
Yeah.
Some people's are more round.
Yeah.
Mine are more like a football shape.
Yeah.
And that's
Hey,
why
Arnold.
Yeah. So it's like that's why I'm kind of sensitive to like too much light.
Yeah.
And,
Freaks
like
it out.
it makes me like have to squint, or I have to wear like that's why I have to wear glasses at night too, or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
probably have it. I haven't had my eyes checked in a long time.
Yeah, I went and got them checked out, and then
Yeah,
they're
lights
like,
fuck me
you
up.
You got some different, unique eyes.
Anyway, it starts at about 25 for most people, and it runs through like 39.
Huh.
And then
Steph's fine.
Then it stabilizes.
Yeah.
And
He's
then
stable now.
they can they're supposed to be able to like do some things once it's stabilized. To you
Oh,
can
so they
change
can't do
your
anything while it's
glasses,
moving
and
around.
There's
changing.
special contact lenses and stuff like that. But
Who had to get some kind of special glasses because they started going like cross-eyed?
I don't know. There's been a revamp of like the Nike made some like anti-glare contacts that the league made illegal in like 09 or 06 or something, and that for some reason has like refound itself on the internet because they made them like bright red, so you look all crazy, and so you put these bright red ass things
and you're
in.
suddenly Darth Maul.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah,
I remember
and
the
the
pictures
NFL
of those.
made them illegal, but they were supposed to like blur lights.
I remember that.
You know, for stadiums and
There
players.
was like contacts.
Yeah, and so for some reason they made them illegal.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's weird.
But obviously,
I meant double vision. You can like
Oh.
some people randomly will get like an onset of like double vision,
Yeah.
and then you can get like glasses though that like correct it for you. Crazy things they can do with glasses.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I remember seeing those old school photos of the dudes on the sidelines with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Looks sick.
yeah, I don't know why it just randomly came up again, but it's been all over my Twitter and shit.
Seabass, did you watch this one?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched more of the CT.
This is the one you probably want to watch all the way
This
through
one?
it on
Yeah.
your free
I was-
time.
I was thinking
It's
about it.
sick.
And it's
good.
long, but it's like pretty good.
I watched the director's cut, which
Yeah.
is 10 minutes longer. I
I
don't
did
know what
not.
they added.
I
don't
did
know.
not watch the director.
Yeah, I
More
don't know either.
montage, bad music.
I knew I had to watch them back to back on a day that had already been long. I was like,
There actually,
have to go
there actually
shorter.
wasn't that many montages as you'd expect, or at least as I'd
Only
expect.
kind of in the beginning, yeah. Then it
Yeah,
kinda
like
chills
branch a
out.
little bit in the gym freaking out, but like a lot of it was based around life and like Phil in the hotel. And I think it does a decent job of like showing their life because like you really don't have time for shit, you know? Like they're just eating, they're chilling.
I felt like it could have been a little shorter.
Yeah, I mean,
don't-
2 hours is a banger of any
it's
movie.
140, right?
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
director's was like
146, and then the
146.
director's cut was 156.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm in the camp that no bodybuilding or fitness related documentary should be over an hour. Should be a
I'm
time
in
cap
that camp as
of
well.
an hour.
Yeah, I think it's just because they had so many characters. They were really trying to build up, you know, like this whole thing. But if they just do Kai and Phil, it can easily be an hour. You could dig a little deeper. But I do kind of like that they sprinkled these other guys in, you know, because some of the stories are whether they're semi-manufactured or whatever, like the Rolly Winkler stuff. He was kind of supposed to be the next coming. You know, he was still young too. He was the youngest by far. Like a lot of the guys, Phil was probably 30s ish, but like a lot of those guys were like mid 30s, branching them. Definitely Victor Martinez. Like some of those guys were a little bit older, and Rolly was like 24, I think.
And his coach, Grandma.
Yeah, which is weird.
So do you guys think that him and Grandma were having sex, right?
No.
Something, right?
I don't think that.
He's foreign,
this is-
though.
if
He's
this is-
foreign, so you can't.
He's a foreign man. He's surrounded by the sound. I was going to say, I didn't necessarily get the impression that he had the equipment she was looking for, but I could be wrong.
Oh. You think after her husband died, she was just into women?
Maybe.
Or she always was, and
Or,
you
yeah.
never know.
I don't know. I could be entirely wrong about that, but
I think that-
I could see there being some kind of weird.
Something weird had
sexual-
happened.
It's part of your training. You got to have release.
Yeah, she helps his recovery.
I like how she said that in Arnold's voice.
They
She kind of
both.
sounded like Arnold.
No, both their accents were crazy. Yeah, both their accents. Same with Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
Dennis Wolf was really famous and never like went crazy in the per se, but he was all over magazines. His accent, I thought it was Arnold one time
sounded just
when they were
like
doing a
him.
voiceover.
Yeah.
One time I could tell, obviously, but one time I was like, "Is that Arnold?"
Yeah, I thought that too. Though it's interesting, there's as many guys as they covered. When they actually announced the top 10,
Yeah.
it's not everybody that you've seen in this film.
No. Yeah, Rolly was
and-
young. Dennis, like I said, I don't even know if he got top 5 ever. Ben Pack maybe scraped top 5 ever.
Yeah.
And Ben Pack was like a really good bodybuilder, but a lot of these guys weren't. And that was my first point, is how famous they were or popular and built a name. But none of them were like killers.
Yeah.
Like Phil ran that whole league forever. And now I can't name, besides like Derek Ludsford, I can't name another top open bodybuilder.
Oh, I have no idea. I know C-Bomb. And that's
Yeah,
not
that's
even
classic.
open. He's not even open yet.
Yeah, I can't name a single one before Derek Ludsford. And probably I told Sebas because they're foreign. A lot of them are foreigners. So, like, I just, I don't follow them on Instagram. And Derek Ludsford's American or Canadian. So,
This like, I feel like with this and everything else, it's just all this shit just died in 2016 and then, or started to go down, and then COVID hit, and then just like fucked up everything.
yeah,
dude.
TikTok bodybuilders, the Trend Twins.
You know
took
what I
over.
mean? Like this, it's just one of those things that I feel like COVID kind of swallowed up.
But the funny thing is,
I think they were kind of on the skids before. And
They
then-
were, but then that just like was like the nail in the coffin.
the funny thing is, this last Olympia 2024, I did notice all like the Fitspos and people I follow are more into this than we ever were.
Really?
Like, I got invited a couple times to go to the night show and like get actual tickets to the show, because it was like a deal after the expo. Never went. All of them were like buying tickets and going, or like getting their sponsor to give them one or whatever. Like, I remember last year at the show, everyone's story was at the show, like, can't wait. And maybe it was the C-Bum effect. Maybe they're homies with them or sponsored by his company or something. But still, they were all at the actual show, not the expo. And talk about, like, everything comes full circle. Obviously, expos were hurt by the pandemic and all that. But I've heard, like, the Olympia's crazy now. I might try to sneak in this year. I think it's, again, August or September. But I heard they're going crazy. I heard they're very popular.
Vegas, right?
Yeah, Vegas.
So the top prize in 2024 for the Olympia was $600,000.
That's decent.
Samson
Oh wow,
Dauda
that was last year.
and
Yeah, Samson's
Hadi
famous.
Chopin and Derek Lunsford,
Yeah, Samson I've heard of for sure.
Martin Fitzwater.
Never heard of him.
I want to talk to Samson. Remember that?
No.
That's from Half Baked, Dave Chappelle. Remember he's like the rapper, Samson?
I don't remember.
You don't remember
Half
that?
Baked's good though.
That one.
Fly me to the moon like a Looney Tune. You don't remember that?
I don't.
Oh, man.
I do like Chappelle though.
Yeah.
That's early Chappelle.
Early Chappelle.
Yeah, part of it too is like they don't have anyone crushing, right? Like C-Bum won what, 8 in a row?
6. I think it was 6.
Oh, that's it. Loser.
Going on 7. He's not retired, is he?
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, he retired.
Oh, that's right. He did
Yeah,
retire.
he's either going hybrid or some people joke about going open. He did do one open show.
Yeah.
Where did he place?
It was like a smaller show.
Oh, okay.
But I think he did okay. Yeah, maybe some of it hasn't been as popular because there hasn't been back-to-back winners, right? I don't think there's been back-to-back winners since Phil.
Not in. I don't think in this category.
Yeah, not in open bodybuilding.
What does like a C-Bum do in 2025 as a retired bodybuilder? Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
now?
I don't know. I know he has a baby.
I know he has supplements.
Yeah,
sure,
I think you
whatever.
just
Those
go
are gonna
full
be fine.
business. I think you just go full business, right? Like to entertain yourself. I mean,
You do some appearances at these big events, I guess.
yeah, create content if you like it. I mean, that's the beauty of working so hard, hopefully, right? And that's the story all these gurus in life and my personal philosophy tell you is that you grind so hard for 10, 15, 20 years, and then eventually you get to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So he can wake up and decide he wants to be a golfer. He could wake up and,
I've been doing that, but I have to work harder than ever.
Yeah, well, we're still in the midst of it, buddy. We're still in the grind. Where like he dominated for 6 years, probably has enough money and shit set that he can U-turn and go fucking do anything he wants. I mean, I think that's the goal, right? Like a lot of big business guys I know like try to go do and they turn to golfing or competitive shooting or ex-NBA guys, Jason Richardson, who was Bart's neighbor for a bit, played in the NBA forever. Now he just golfs and tries to go
what's
pro.
hybrid in like?
Just fake news that you run and lift weights.
Okay, so he would like do that like on YouTube though.
He just like posted that on Instagram. I don't know if it was a meme or if he was really into it, but I think he's just trying to move his body a little bit more.
Yeah,
he's
Like
like,
actually be healthy.
yeah, he's like trying to do a muscle up and shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's trying to turn into like a healthy person.
Yeah, or maybe even athletics, right? Like I don't know C-Bum in particular, but a lot of these guys that I cross paths with weren't ever like that great of athletes. That's why like Phil was kind of like a rare one. He played D1 basketball, so maybe they like want to try to do sports.
He was a freak genetically.
Dude, D1 basketball, and he's got to be 5'8", 5'9". Like people don't understand. That's almost more impressive to me than Olympia.
How about that one? The Asian guy who was 5'5", 220.
He did not look very good. Is he from San Jose?
Didn't sound
I
like
think
it.
I mean,
I
obviously
think
he's not
that's
born and
racist.
raised. I don't think he's
racist.
He's not born. No, I don't think he's born and raised. But I think he lives because there was 2 prominent Asian bodybuilders in that period, and one was San Jose, and one owns, I believe, Powerhouse in Vegas now.
Oh, sick.
But another one was from San Jose. And yeah, the racist part is to me they look alike. That's the racist part. But they did. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, one of them owns Powerhouse in Vegas, and then one of them was from the San Jose area.
Do you think that? Also, we never really talked about the fact that Mickey Rourke was the voiceover on this, which is pretty awesome.
No, it's great voiceover.
I wonder if he was into it or if they just like got
they
him
just
and
probably
paid him.
They probably just paid
Was
him.
this
I mean, he's
before
into
The Wrestler?
lifting. He's into lifting, right? So maybe half and half.
Did this come out before The Wrestler?
Probably.
The movie?
Oh, probably, yeah.
So I mean, they probably didn't have to pay him much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Because that was like the first movie for him,
Yeah, that exploded.
like a comeback.
or what? Michael Jai White or whatever, wasn't he? What's he in? Is it The Wire? He made like a guest appearance here in the back. He was friends with one of the guys.
I don't remember.
And didn't he just pass? Isn't that the same guy? I think he's from The Wire, like one of the main actors in The Wire. But that, again, I think that was after this. He exploded, and then he passed a couple of years ago.
Oh damn. Yeah, I don't remember.
Right?
He's still alive.
Oh, then I'm thinking of a different name.
You're thinking of somebody else.
Again, probably
Maybe
racist.
you're thinking
Again,
of that
probably
guy.
racist.
You just killed that guy.
Watch if we Google, it's like Michael White. I swear to God.
Look at Kimbo.
It's the guy with the scars on his face who died
from The Wire,
from
right?
The Wire, yeah.
Oh,
And isn't his name
the guy
Michael?
with the shotgun?
Yeah,
And the
I'm
jacket-
blanking on his name.
I swear it was Michael.
I couldn't tell you.
No, it's not
Michael K. Williams.
There you
Michael
go.
K. Williams.
Yeah, see, I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
And they don't look that dissimilar.
I was gonna say they're not all called Michael B. Jordan.
They're all just Michael Jordan.
Yeah, no. What was I going to say? Victor Martinez, how bad did you feel for him?
That was sad.
Yeah.
It was sad. But again, he's like a bit of an OG. You know, like, what do you expect? You went to prison. You know, you expect to just come out and even my, again, untrained eye, semi-trained eye, could tell how small he was.
Yeah, and
Or during the when he went to the judge and
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that workout.
Yeah,
kinda
or even just
before.
working out. I could just tell you
Yeah.
he wasn't like as bubbly as he was. You know, drugs don't kick in that fast. He just got out of prison. Like,
yeah.
he probably didn't have his full stack when he was in there.
Yeah, he probably had a little something, but probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
let
also,
alone-
the equipment. Like,
Yeah, let alone the stress
yeah.
from
Yeah,
going through that. Like,
for
that's
sure.
gonna fuck your shit up. You know, one thing that I always
yeah.
knew, but like this movie just made apparent. You always like hear about the politics in the sport, but like this movie just puts it in your face. Like, Phil, he's hanging out with the president all day of the federation that runs the shit.
Yeah.
And they're besties, and he said, "You're gonna kill it." You know, and I'm like, well, you know, that doesn't look so good. You know, and then even for Victor Martinez to have like best friends with like the lead judge, you know, like, I get it. Like they can't like totally. It's kind of like what I think professional sports, because everyone thinks they're like totally rigged. Well, you can't totally rig it, right? Like, Steph's not gonna miss a shot, but you can lean things. You know, and so like same with this, like they can't just give the worst body the gold medal.
Yeah.
But they can definitely move him up a couple places. You know, they can give him 7th instead of 10th. And
Yeah, possible, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems so weird.
And you know, there's always controversy around placing in bodybuilding shows, the big bodybuilding shows.
Yeah, because it's so subjective.
And yeah, it's a lot of that controversy comes from the internet and people watching it. And it was interesting. I think that Lane says in this, or somebody near the point that Lane is in, that if you're there,
Yeah.
it's so much more obvious.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then
Because the
what you-
lighting's perfect.
Yeah.
Also, it was obvious here between
was.
first and second. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Phil's shoulders,
Yeah, he
his
looks
chest, everything was on another planet.
He's just so bubbly.
Yeah, it made Kai's shoulders look non-existent, and his chest looked like way too small for his body.
Yeah. It was.
It wasn't even close.
There is more random cameos, yeah, like Busta Rhymes. And
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes in that era, I've been a Busta Rhymes fan. And he's obviously from Brooklyn, so that makes sense that he's friends or at least a fan of Kai, and that's who he hangs out with in the film. But in that era, Busta started to get jacked too. Because Busta was always kind of like, kind of frumpy, and then got a little round. But then he started to get jacked.
Then he started getting juiced up, and his neck disappeared.
Yeah, and he was just like in the midst of that. In this, you could tell like he kind of had some shoulders.
Have you seen that video of him not getting let into that like famous nightclub?
No, he's freaking out or something.
Yeah, he was just causing a scene because they're like, "Who the fuck are you? Get out of here, old man!" And he's just like, "Rah, Busta, rah. Hit my ride."
Well, was Mike Katz the judge that he went to see, that Martinez went to see? Mike Katz,
maybe.
Mike Katz is.
I didn't put that together.
Oh, he was in Pumping Iron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he own a gym in Jersey? Does he own? No, I don't know if it was.
That's a freaky build.
Scroll
for
up.
the
Does it have
70s.
his old picture up top?
That guy was born a year after.
No,
my
I don't think
dad.
it was. I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
That's
Similar
I
frame.
I didn't catch it as it
Yeah,
went
but look
by,
at the
so-
top left.
Is that your
up.
next hairstyle, Mike?
It is pretty good. Scroll up. I guess down if you want to do it that way. But the top of the page. Yeah, see, he didn't look like that.
Where is he in that picture?
Top
Which
left.
one is
He's
he?
left.
He's
left.
on the left.
Yeah, he didn't look like that. No, the judge. I think it was what's the famous Jersey Mecca?
Those guys look like shit. Holy crap! So much Botox.
The Jersey Mecca. I forgot the name of the fucking gym, but I think it was the owner of that. I just can't think of the name. There's a Jersey Mecca, the East Coast Mecca, and they opened one in Colorado actually, where Phil trains too. I can't think of the gym name, but I think it was the owner of that. Was the
Bev
judge.
Francis.
Yeah, was it Bev
It
Francis?
was Bev Francis' gym. Yeah.
It might have been Bev Francis. One of Bev Francis's guys was the
Yeah.
judge. Yeah, I don't remember seeing Mike Katz. I don't remember that name until obviously.
Yeah,
now.
he's in the cast list, but I couldn't tell you where he is.
It might have just been a throwback to Pumping Iron.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they did
yeah.
like a couple blurbs of that.
They had like Lou talking about stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, same with Lou. Like, I don't think did Lou ever win Olympia? Maybe one in between Arnold's movies.
I was gonna ask that because I was gonna say, did Lou ever win?
I don't know if he did either because Franco Columbo snuck in a bunch of wins when Arnold was gone.
Lou was talking a lot about what it takes to be a champion. I was thinking to myself, did you ever win?
He might have snuck in one, but
It's Franco who was in the middle on that picture when everybody looked like shit. Yeah.
Franco
That
just
was
passed.
Franco?
Yeah, he just passed semi recently too.
Yeah.
He was a chiropractor forever.
Oh, I was thinking of Franco. Yeah, that did look like Franco because he was always the littler guy.
Yeah, he was like 5'6".
5556, something like that.
Oh, this popped up. We should definitely do that one too. The Natty Life.
I almost watched that one on accident.
I know we should do that for sure when we come back.
We'll double feature it with Magazine Dreams because Mike O'Trent is Michael Hearn is in both.
I think
of them.
I think he's big in this
Is
one.
he in that one?
Yeah, with the
Oh,
Jonathan
God, that's
Majors.
good.
Yeah.
Dude, remember that era of the Mike O'Hearn meme
Yeah.
era?
No.
Amazing.
I don't think it's completely gone away. It's
No, just less popular. It's definitely there.
yeah.
So funny. You know what's so funny about? He would randomly just send me like DMs of him wearing like CK gear,
That's cool.
which I was always just like, Hercules wearing CK. That's sick.
Yeah.
And he would post like in his story, like, or even like on regular posts, just like his little videos he'd be wearing, and I was just like, the weird world we live in.
Yeah, it is a weird
I
world.
was gonna say he's sending you pictures in a CK shirt only.
Yeah,
only.
pantsless.
I mean, that would have been ideal.
That's what you're hoping for.
You want to see that Hercules?
Then he sends his
missile
Venmo. He
stick.
sent his Venmo link after. That's how you got to make money, man.
Well, going back to what you were saying before, some of the people who have tried to compete in bodybuilding at the higher level, like what do they do? The part of the answer is OnlyFans or something similar to that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there's
who knows
definitely
now?
a fetish there.
Yeah, there's
to
definitely
exploit.
Yeah, with social media, who knows what some of these guys are doing? And now the industry's so big. Probably the top 10 guys are doing fine, and even Martinez and them talk about it with sponsorships. You know,
Yeah.
even then, like the top 10 guys were probably getting at least a 5-figure deal, so they were making some kind of money. Then they did some kind of bullshit personal
It seems
training
like
on the
everybody
side.
was kind of bitter
Yeah.
about Phil. Like
No, I don't think anyone liked them.
they were just kind of They were just hating.
Yeah.
Oh, he's at it easy because he's got a sponsor. Like, okay, then get
Yeah,
better.
that'd be good.
then.
That'd be good.
Like,
That'd be
exactly.
good. And I do get some of it, maybe, where again, like Kai grew up homeless and Phil grew up in Seattle. There's
It's
no
got
real-
nothing to do with Phil.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, if you're in Kai's shoes or these other guys' shoes, bodybuilding is like a grassroots kind of like sport, like a grind. Even Arnold, right? Like Arnold's an immigrant and does this and that and builds his way. Where like there's not really like the hard streets of Seattle
Well, but then
or
even
D1 scholarships.
Well, even Phil
Yeah.
said though, he's like, I worked. I don't know how true it is, but he said he worked 2 jobs while he was.
I'm sure.
working, and he's like,
I'm
I
sure.
don't think Kai's ever worked a day in his life.
Yeah, which is all of it's
Like-
possible. All of it is possible. And obviously that's like just life in general, right? Like you can always look to your left and right and point fingers on someone's
Yeah,
on
for sure.
hard times, but you can also understand why like Phil Heath's like he is like even his face and his personality, like he's fucking the superhero in the boys or what, like he's like the perfect guy. He's shooting, he's
Finger pistols.
he's that guy, right? So like he's probably very easy to hate when the rest of them, like Kai's got fucking crazy hair, he's all scarred up, like all those guys. Branch
He looks
Warren.
he looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Branch Warren he does. And Branch Warren's getting chucked by fucking horses and goats all day. He's
Yeah.
stepping in dog shit.
And he looks like ultimate like Aryan Brotherhood guy.
Yeah, probably so.
I
well, I don't
honestly,
know.
think
He's
his-
got Johnny as a training partner, all right? He's got a black friend.
No, I'm not saying he's that way. I'm just saying like I'm sure that his look
yeah, it
held
doesn't
him
help.
back.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He looked too like alt right.
Yeah,
for, for like the stage.
He wasn't put together that well either. And all those guys, right? Like Victor Martinez walking through fucking all the, like Haitian neighborhoods and shit. Like, the Puerto Ricans all over. Like, it's just different than living purely in Denver, Colorado, and Seattle.
Yeah, just
right. They all
bodybuilding
came
with
from
the best shit.
Yeah, they just came from different places, And again, bodybuilding has like mega grassroots, but
Phil was like the American hero.
Yeah.
He was a hero.
yeah, he looked like he
Yeah.
should have been in the new Captain America that I heard flopped.
Yeah.
It's doing really well money wise.
Yeah, but everyone giving her a
what is that
5 out of
Reviews
10.
are not great, but it's making money.
Yeah, but there's no other
How
movies
does
to
that
watch
work?
because there's no other movies to watch.
Oh, at the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marvel, bro. Like,
Like also, okay, so they
who's got
probably-
better marketing than Disney and Marvel?
I feel like they need to. Okay, they need to stop. This is a side quest, but they need to stop. Like, what are they comparing that to then? Okay, if it's making money, that means it's successful. But like, what are they comparing it to? Fucking Endgame? Like, oh, how did Endgame do?
Well, it's like McDonald's is successful, but like you're never gonna say this is the best burger I've ever had.
Yeah, I just don't know like what they're comparing like how many people are going to see it like on opening night. Like what is the
all that? Yeah,
It
opening
did
weekend.
really well
Yeah.
and on opening, and
Yeah.
it's continuing to
Yeah.
do well.
But again, what
why
are
is
the
everybody
movies
saying
out?
that it's bomb then?
Well, everyone just says
Because
it's a
this-
5 out of 10.
Because the movie sucks.
Because
Yeah.
the movie sucks. But
Got
we're
it.
still
Okay.
gonna see
Yeah,
it.
Okay. That makes more. Okay.
That's the thing.
No, the
I
people
haven't
say-
watched it yet.
Yeah,
they
the
have
people say
forgotten
it
how to
sucks.
do the storytelling, and it's also possible that they were done and they just didn't want to be done because there was too much money to make.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
can't
clearly
just
what's
stop.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
just
yeah.
stop.
You get to end game and you're done.
So I mean,
I think.
hopefully, you know,
can't just leave. But these are the only movies making any money.
right? And
Yeah.
hopefully, Doom brings it back a little bit. There might be a chance because there's not like one big enemy. There's no one big story, right? The whole beauty of it was the roots to a trunk, and
Yeah.
now we have no trunk because everyone died or quit, and so like they got to rebuild that trunk. But they're supposedly, I don't know if Jonathan Majors is doing it. They're talking about bringing him back,
I saw a little bit about that. Yeah.
and then supposedly Iron Man Part 2 in green suit is supposed to kill him. So like that might bring us back a little bit. We'll see.
I don't think so. But
Jonathan
It was-
Majors' movie does sound interesting though, and he is kind of jacked. He's kind of built like Kai Greene or something. He kind of
He's
built
just-
like a natty Kai Greene.
Yeah, part of it is just how he's shot. He's not really that big in it, but he's big, certainly bigger than he was. He's a similar size in Creed 3.
Yeah, he's jacked there too.
Yeah.
He looks good. I mean, yeah, I don't expect him to like get up to 260, but even if he's like 190, that's pretty big for celebrities. You know, the biggest was probably Thor, but like Wolverine, that fucker weighed like 155.
yeah, it looks big on camera.
Yeah. It's just you got to be ripped, and then they light you
Yeah, it's over.
so that everything shows up, and you don't like eat any carbs or drink any water for like 3 days before
yeah, your
you shoot
shoulders
those
just are
scenes.
massive looking, and then
Yeah.
it makes your whole body look big.
Yeah, I don't know.
These guys were just massive though.
Yeah,
They were massive. So this was to me not as entertaining as Pumping Iron, but it is definitely better than the other ones that we've seen from Generation Iron. Again, a little long, but the guys at least had a fairly engaging story each one,
Yeah.
and for the most part, I would say thumbs up, and people should watch it. In terms of a rating, I would say spray tans. How
Yeah.
many spray tans?
Oh,
How about that
Arnold-
spray tan in the shower coming off? It looked like just diarrhea.
How about
did.
how about Ronnie bending over or Winkler grabbing ankles?
Yes.
Talk about grandma sex. She says bend over, and he just fucking grabs ankles, shakes that ass.
Is my food ready? She was cooking him food.
She's yelling at him to rip the phone away. Shit, there was some weird energy there.
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you, dude.
there was
She
something
was
weird.
riding him.
There, part of the reason,
or vice versa.
he might have got pegged. That kind of answers both of your guys'
I
assumptions.
think you figured it out.
Yeah, they the Pumping Iron is just so good because Arnold is so hilarious in it. Like it just displays his perfect
He's
charisma.
just got more charisma than
yeah, he's so good. And like, although Phil and Kai speak very well, they're just not like that guy.
No.
You know, they're just not that guy. And Arnold in Pumping Iron, more than anything I've seen. Again, I'm not a huge Arnold guy. I like him, but in Pumping Iron, he's just so fun. He's got like Muhammad Ali energy, you know, like
Yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
around him. He's fucking charismatic. Like he's just schmoozing everywhere, you know.
He's
That
like
movie
a-
turned the lights on for him.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, he's so good. Like if Arnold's like that, that's the guy I want to have coffee with. But I've seen a lot of Arnold stuff, and I've never seen him like that yet,
Yeah.
or the same level. He's good, but he's never been like in that movie. He's fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah, he's
He's
good.
just throwing mini jabs at every corner, you know. And he just even the other stuff. His interview here was very good, but it's so political, you know. So just like he's just hitting the spots. He's hitting his spots. In terms of spray tans, out of 5, I think we're sitting on what? Rich was like a 1.5. I think we gave Ronnie like a cumulative like 2 together.
Something like that.
This one's in fitness documentaries. I'm probably going to give it like a 3.75. Maybe a 3.8. Like I agree with Jim. If you're into fitness at all, you should watch it. It tells a lot of the past and the cool stories that build up to now. It is a weird era now, you know, where it is kind of social media driven rather than merit driven. And this might have been the last merit run, you know, like hopefully the C-Bum one for sure. Because he is so good at what he does. You know, he was a champ and he could have kept winning. It's probably smart of him to retire because, again, yeah, you're going to end up getting a 3rd or a 5th and feel bad. Yeah, you just won't feel good because then you feel the world destroyed you. And most sports do, right? Phil talked about that with his basketball career. Like, at some point, someone tells you you're not good enough. So might as well make your own call and just say, "Oh, well, I'm done" instead.
Yeah, there's definitely more honor in figuring out when you need to go, and instead of waiting for the world to tell you.
Yeah, because it's just ego.
You're done.
In this sport, it's just ego. Like every other sport, it has to happen. You're just not going to be good enough to go to the NBA or go play in Europe or go play D1 or make the varsity team. Like there's a level. But here, if you're already in the league, it's up to you. And so it is just ego for you to want to keep pushing. So shout out to C-Bump for that. And he's so fucking young too. Like I think he's 28. You know, like he can do anything he wants. So he could turn around and go become a fucking linguist or lawyer or some shit. But yeah, I'll give it 3.75, 3.8.
Yeah, I'll give it like a 3.9. It's just too long. 2 hours is too long. I think if you focus on like 3 or 4 of like the top guys in this documentary, I don't know if you can get the good of a story maybe, but I think it might have. Maybe that would help. I don't know.
I think
or
they were trying
to just leave it as it is and give it a. It's solid. It's solid.
I think they're just trying to emulate pumping iron so much, right? Because you had the Mike Katz story, then you had the Lou Ferrigno, Arnold. Like they tried to go piece for piece with it. They covered random bodybuilding, general bodybuilding, and then the real battles, Lou and Arnold, and they did that same thing.
It's
here.
like a Rocky Creed situation,
right? And so you have Phil and Kai, but then you have to sprinkle in the Ben Packs and the Rolly Winklers. Like they wanted to film a bigger picture. I wish, and maybe the Natty one. I wish they would have talked more about like the sport, because I feel like Pumping Iron almost did that more, where Katz was just like a school teacher. You know, like if you cover that there's different stuff going on rather than just the Olympia. You know, because that's where the culture is. Even then, the culture was in the industry. It wasn't in the Olympia.
Yeah, this was definitely though like an Olympia documentary.
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl.
Right?
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl documentary.
Build up to the big game.
Yeah, that was the through line.
Yeah,
with it, anything that didn't relate directly to that just wasn't in the movie at all.
Yeah.
I think it's for the reason that it's a little too long. I'm saying 3.5. It's about 3.5.
Yeah,
it was definitely watchable. It was much more watchable than I was afraid it was going to be. I thought, am I going to have trouble staying awake through this? And I didn't have too much trouble. It was
I mean, as far as like modern day bodybuilding documentaries, like this is in the conversation of one of the better ones.
Yeah, for sure.
And those are, they all have their problems, so they're never going to get like the best score.
Yeah,
as far as documentaries go, in the bodybuilding documentary world, this is probably higher. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's that many fitness ones that are like in our culture, right? Well, there's Pumping Iron, there's this, like Brian Johnson's, they're all lateral, right? Fork over knives, lateral. Like they're all so lateral to what we do. And so to have one that's even, that we all agree is above a 3, it's pretty good.
Pretty good,
yeah. We're never going to get the planet Earth, of fucking fitness. Like that's a 5 out of 5 for me. And
there's
that's just
no Attenborough.
and like just, you need everything to line up. Like
we'll see how C-Bum goes.
Maybe, but even still, like no offense to C-Bum, no offense to any of these guys. Like I've seen his YouTubes and stuff. Like you need all of it, right? You need the production, you need the storyteller, and you need the character. The only one is Pumping Iron. Yeah, like he's good, but he's not a fucking gecko in the volcanoes of fucking Hawaii. With Attenborough telling me about it.
Yeah, he's not sitting at his kitchen table talking about women hanging on him like Arnold or something.
Yeah, or like sneaking his enemy to drink some vodka before the night show and shit. He's just doing funny shit. Like it's going to be rare. The one you could do that with is probably YouTubers.
The smoking. You
know what I mean? Like you start to do them on like a Bart and an Omar, guys that have that kind of gas to them. I
want the Trend Bros doc to drop.
I'm waiting for the early YouTube. I'm waiting to get a call. I'm waiting for the Gen 1 YouTube. I'll be the side piece like Guzman, Bart, Omar. They can take the lead, but we should definitely. I think that's too like the social media rev or like social media's impact on fitness is probably one Generation Iron should do, and they've sprinkled it in, but
but they're doing it with like the wrong.
But that's the fucking culture. Right, you interview some of the new cats. Yeah, you hit the Trend Twins and whatever else, but then you're going back and maybe Bradley Martin's even the lead. He's probably the face of kind of that generation. And then you sneak them around, bro. There's something the pianos.
I saw the most foul video. Did you see that video?
Yeah, it's bad,
Jim.
It's bad
on the live stream.
I think it might have been.
Is that kid alive still?
Yeah, I mean, I would have fucking crushed him. Go Google it, kids.
Yeah. Anyways,
what do they call that? The Roman helmet.
I don't know, but it was brutal. Yeah, that's hilarious name for it.
The Roman helmet?
That's funny. I haven't heard it called that.
I think it's the Roman helmet.
I don't even know what we're talking about, and I know what a Roman helmet is. So.
Yeah, someone's benching 2 chicks, kind of like the typical Instagram thing, and then the homie comes and
pulls his pants down.
Yeah, Roman helmets him. You never heard of the Roman
Sits on
helmet?
his- I
Were we
didn't-
just
I
talking about
didn't- I didn't know
waiting?
that's what it was
Were
called.
we talking about waiting? Was that with you?
No.
You
but
know
I
waiting?
love waiting. I love waiting.
Yeah, with the bat wing and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, the Roman helmet's lateral to that.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably was working out too, so it was probably a little nasty.
I mean, there was
in there.
Oh yeah, he was probably sweaty. But there was
Oh.
cameras. Like, yeah, that's why I just didn't avoid that environment. The frat boy.
There's Axe body
He
spray.
did. He did get the body slam him and kind of beat his ass a little bit. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys saw that part. but
Yeah. I saw it separate.
I would have just. It would have been. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it's
was on a
lights
live
out.
stream, so it was like everyone saw it.
Yeah, it's lights
And it
out.
went viral.
Yeah. The kid's reaction was
What a way
actually
to go viral with your dick.
Yeah, his
I
face.
think he was in pure shock.
Maybe, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like disgust. Maybe he liked it.
That's fair.
I don't know who that kid
Then
was.
it's all
but-
fair game.
Yeah.
Secretly.
Yeah. Shout him out, Dean. Where
Not
can they
so
find
much.
you?
At deansoros.ck or at Caffeine and Kilos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're covering C.T. Fletcher, Magnificent Obsession next. Join in, watch it, listen up, share this with your friends. I'm Solid Mike. Where you want to find me?
I'm Sebastian_Brambila on IG.
I am at the Jim McD on all the social media. This show is 50% facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% Facts is a Spreaker Prime podcast in association with iHeartMedia on the Obscure Celebrity Network. We'll talk to you next time. This one just a little bit, but I was told back in the